Yes, it's the style you're looking at with Lizzie. She's a Victorian doll, based on a Victorian doll. But I've always drawn ever since I was about 3 years old, so, you know. Well, I went to Camberwell Art School first of all for 4 years and did textile design, and then managed to get into the RCA to do textiles. And I was there for 3 years, so it's a 7-year stint really, you know, to get your degree. Having gone to the museum and met the person who ran it and owned all the stuff there, Marguerite Fawdry, in 63, 61. She had several things on sale there. She had something that was a cut-out and make-up doll, but it was very 60s. And because it was a Victorian type museum, she wanted something that was more in keeping with the place. So she said, come on, you can do this, you can do one of these. And which is what, and I just went home and kind of thought about how I would present and how I would design the doll. Once they were produced as a drawing, they were liked very much by the people that owned the museum. So I then discovered that how to get them printed and who to go to, and how many yards one would need, and the size, and all the rest of it. And it just went, because it was a toy shop, a Victorian toy shop, and they had a lot of collected stuff. A lot of it went abroad, in America and, you know, France and Germany they went to, and these would go with them. So that was the beginning, and now it's carried on from that into more. But I mean, my drawing is because I am a drawer anyway, an illustrator, and the two things seem to go together, what I was doing anyway. And this particular illustration, which is what it is, really, it's an illustration that you make up into a toy. Over the years, various designs have been done, and other sorts of dolls and things have been made, and I used to produce other things for the shop too. The woman who used to work at the place that we had everything printed at, Ivo Prints, would be copying. Well, she would take the drawing, she would do a drawing over the top, like a tracing. She would do a tracing of it on photographic paper, and then that would be put onto a silk screen to be printed, fabric printed, and that's how it evolves. You can have different colourways.
And it's a manual printing process, isn't it?
Yes, yes. So that's, you know, and you just tried one or two out. What did they look like? Did it work? And then it went on into production from there, all of them, you know. But yes, all printed on calico, hundreds of yards, calico that came from India. We wanted to have this particular material because it printed well. I mean, they're all the same style, but there are different ideas for different things. It's her, and then there was a boy, the Jack became, so a couple. It evolved and was popular, and it comes in various colours. And so it just sort of built up from there, really. It could have been anything. It could have, hence various other ones that are around that look different. But she was very much based on Mary Quant, Lulu, anybody at that time that was dressed in that way with that particular hair. So that's the style that you would be taking. You know, it seemed like, oh, I've done that, that and that. All right, let's do a cat. That's the original drawing, that one. That is a pen and ink drawing, which the silk screen was taken from. You know, they would use that, do the silk screen, which was not the easiest thing to do. You've got to think about how he's going to sit and how he's going to not fall over, and how he's round enough, and the pattern, and it's just a whole, how you actually make something to look realistic. I think my mother had great aspirations that she wanted that I was going to go on and be a fashion designer or something. Well, no. Anyway, we married at 59. We were living in a small flat in Putney. We didn't have any money. There were lots of parties and dances and things, and at the RCA. We've kept many friends that we were made there, still know people, those that are still left. So I did a lot of teaching. I taught textiles at various art schools. It was quite, yeah, I mean, it was a very formative time. There were lots of things happening, but it was a good time to sell if you had the right thing. You could walk into any shop, the King's Road and whatever, and people would see you straight away and they may have something. Now it's not like that at all. I had to find a name for her, and Lizzie seemed like a good idea. You know, my grandmother. So I'll take something from the family, a name from the family. And so that seemed to me like an ideal name. It suited the doll, it suited the period of time that she was taken from. I mean, she is particular in her way and her fashion, her style. Being of that period, you know, the policeman and the other pieces that are there are just copying things that are actually available and real, and you can see them as people. This is something else that's based on the past and well, not around now. People don't look like that now, but people still look like that, you know. You know, I've never really thought about it. It just happens. Things that I do happen. You need to be prompted by something, yeah.